All right, welcome everybody. Let's get started after a long holiday weekend in the United States, federal holiday. We were off with the latest COVID news. It's really pretty good. In 5 states, the COVID situation is getting worse. In 45 plus DC, it's getting significantly better to the point where cases in the United States have now plummeted by about 50% since their Delta peak. So all good news. Vaccine doses are up a little bit. Cases are down. Deaths are now down. And the question is becoming, what happens in the winter season? So let's start at the very beginning. How are cases looking globally? Globally, cases are down from their Delta peak of about 660,000 a day, an insane number, down to about 400,000 a day, 404,000 a day. That's a decline of nearly 39%. Now, in the United States, cases are down even more precipitously if you believe the data, which I think we've talked about this before. Big picture, we mostly can, even if we're not getting the full story from every single state. Cases in the U.S. down from their Delta peak of about 167,000 to about 85,000 cases a day. Still a ton of cases, but it's a decline of, it's about 50%, 49 point something percent. Now, the caveat here is, do those numbers include what is obviously slower reporting thanks to the long holiday weekend? These numbers might end up being adjusted up a little bit as the testing and reporting kind of catches up and is integrated into these numbers. But big picture, a significant decline at this point. In terms of deaths, which often follow cases by 3 to 4 weeks, globally, deaths are down about 34% from their Delta peak, which, remember, it's not the full pandemic peak, okay? The Delta global death peak was about 10,000 deaths a day. At one point, we were at 14,000 in a previous peak. So down from about 10,000 a day to like 6,750. Within the United States, the death decline is not quite as sharp. Deaths in the U.S. down about 26% from their Delta peak, now around 1,400 per day. Remember this relevant data point when we want to think about just how are we doing in general. In a normal flu season in the U.S., there's about 100 deaths a day. Again, they're not really 100 a day. They're concentrated during flu season. You've got more than 100 a day during flu season, fewer than 100 a day in the summer, but about 100 a day. COVID, of course, is still way, way higher than that, multiples higher. In terms of vaccination, we are seeing daily vaccine doses trickle up a little bit. Remember that daily vaccinations at one point had surpassed 3 million new doses per day in the US. That was in mid-April. That has come all the way down, at one point, down to 500,000 new doses a day. Pathetic number, completely pathetic. And then as the Delta variant started to surge, so did vaccination. As Joe Biden announced some vaccine requirements, there was another surge in vaccination. And recently we've seen daily doses administered in the US up to about 1 million a day. We could be doing so much better. We have so many doses available, but you still prefer to see 1 million per day rather than 500,000. Globally, new doses are also up. You might remember last week I said, hey guys, we're seeing 23 million doses a day. We're up to 25 million doses a day globally. These are still really small numbers, but I'll mention them. Last week, we were seeing 0.29% of the population getting a dose. That's up to now 0.32% of the global population is getting a dose each day. These are tiny, tiny numbers, but it's an increase, and we'll take any increase that we can get. Now, compared to the vaccination rate of any other planet in our solar system, we're doing really well. We're really kicking some ass if we compare Earth to other planets. Where do we go from here? Not really clear. We've not yet won. I saw a funny article which said, Fauci says we shouldn't declare victory prematurely. And I was thinking, we shouldn't declare victory prematurely again, because we already did. I mean, some places never conceded there was even a battle, but there were some premature declarations of victory as well. Beyond that, we've got to see what happens in terms of the winter. There is the view that coinciding with flu season, we're going to see another COVID peak. If we're going to see that, we would expect to see the numbers turn around relatively quickly as we're starting to get into the cold season in much of the country. In terms of those who say we're not going to see it, they are saying no, because of vaccination and because of everything that's going on. This is now completely sort of like unlinked from the seasonality of flu season. We're not going to see a winter spike. Remains to be seen. In about 6 weeks, we're going to know. But in the interim, let's hope things continue going in the right direction. One of our sponsors today is Blue Chew, a unique online service delivering the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. And they're giving my audience an entire month's supply for free. So if you think you could benefit from an extra boost of confidence when it's time, all you have to do is take a short quiz on their website. A licensed doctor approves your prescription. The medication comes straight to your home within days in a discreet package. No driving around to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. No waiting around. No awkward conversations with your doctor. All of Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. The entire process is just a few clicks. Go to bluechew.com. The link is underneath this video. They'll give you an entire month's supply for free when you use the promo code PACMAN. All you have to do is pay $5 shipping.